Hey everyone, we're doing brake replacement on the Hilux. The last video was getting a bit long in the tooth, 15 minutes. Some people just can't handle it. Hopefully I'll put this out in the right order. Things didn't go to plan. I've got a shim kit here. I'm going to give you the part number, and lucky I found one on the shelf because it doesn't come with the pads. So beware if your vehicle has been un-Toyoted. These pads and rotors are going to be free for someone. Nothing wrong with them. They're just done 20,000 Ks, no pulsation, no noise. No issues at all. They're from lsiauto.com.au. You can get some new ones there yourself if you want. Use the discount code 4B4Diesel. You can see here I've put the copper grease, the copperies. Is that why they didn't squeal? I don't know, but it's what I do. You just paint it on lightly. You can see it doesn't go anywhere else. You only need to have it where the pistons are, but I just sort of paint on the whole thing, right? So that's where it's at. These pads obviously probably come with their own, you can see they're like new still, come with their own backing plate, whatever. The wear indicators are on there. Put those in the right place. There's other videos in the brakes playlist to get you educated on brakes. If you don't know what you're doing, don't touch them. It's dangerous. A lot of people have made a lot of pretty bad mistakes over the years. But if you've just got these backing plates and you don't want to pull them off the aftermarket pads and you've got your new pads, then you need to do something. I went into my brakes spares box. I've got a few things like some caliper seals there, some rubber grease from back in the day, some clips, you know, the clips for the hold the pads in. So I've got some random spares, you know, there's the other clip there, one of those type. And then in here I came into, and this is the shim kit that I actually use. So there's the part number. I don't know if that's the Prado or the Hilux or what, but that's the kit that I've got here, and it fits those pads, so we're using it. That's for the front, not the rear. And then I've got some old spare ones in there that I've kept, that I've just chucked into that bag to put aside. This shim kit is for the rear of the Prados. B120, 150 should be the same. There's the part number in case you need that. When I got one kit for, I think it was the back of the V6 120 that had none, from the butchers over the years. I got two kits just in case. Lucky I did, because I got the front as well. So obviously that other kit, this one suits the Prado, I'm pretty confident. But the pads on the later Hilux, same, right? There it is upside down this time. But anyway, here's my spares, bits and pieces, some springs and different bits and pieces and contraptions, brake spares. If you're gonna do brakes with like 4-pot calipers and that without slides, you might need a tool like this. So this is your official. You can go down to Supercheap, get a Tool Pro 3-year warranty, reasonable price, brake caliper piston spreader for those pistons, the calipers that have got pistons both sides. Anyway, the new rotors are on, beautiful. We just put some nuts temporarily to hold it in place. That's after cleaning the hub, lubing it, blowing it, cleaning it, and putting a very light coating of copperies once again, just to stop any rust on the outside of that hub between that and the rotor, which over time probably wouldn't make any difference while the wheel's on, but you take the wheel off and then the bits of crust could fall out of place, fall to the bottom, and then space it out a little bit. You put the wheel back on and then the rotor's out, just a fraction, but enough to cause problems. Didn't think about that, did you? Well, that's why you're here. So who wants these? Check the description and the title and all that. I'll change it when they're gone, but at the moment, pick up only. Like I said, I've got some other sets there. First in, best dress, whichever set you want, second, third, and so on and so forth. Shim kit actually comes with grease, so we will use this grease on this shim kit. I'll just show you, it's a 2-piece shim kit, and it's got the slots underneath. Bloody beautiful. I love new stuff, genuine, original, just the way the engineers wanted it. All right, the hot tip is after you've put your caliper back on, don't forget to put these nuts off and back on your side step before you put your wheel on, because yeah, I have actually tried to do that myself. All right. And brakes. So look, yeah, you can see it's all in there now. That's what it looks like when it's in there. Nice new. You might be jealous now. You don't want the free ones. Keep watching. Free's free. Don't forget to tighten up these bolts. Don't forget, do not undo these bolts at all. You don't know what you're doing if you undo those top 2 bolts. It's all over. It's got to be that one behind there. Like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. Don't forget those ones up there as well. Your ABS line's all good, not damaged. Consider replacing your brake line if it's been bent before. This one has been bent before. I've considered it. It's okay for now. You've got to look at the kink if they've bent it there. Any other kinks there, all depends how bad it is. You can check out both sides. Just careful who you let work on your car, which is why I'm sort of training the people that should know better, I guess. But you know, they're not watching the videos. So who's watching the videos? that might be who's going to be doing the brakes, if you know what I mean. But it's dangerous, so yeah, careful. Make sure you get it right. Lots of training before you get in there and give it a crack. Make sure that, I think it's about 120 Newton meters. Someone from the workshop manual, please, in the comments. Torque spec for bolting the caliper back on. Thanks. When it comes to the rear shoes, we're just pulling that apart now. You've got to remove the clips. They go all the way through to the background here. You'll be able to find it and hold it in while you press the clip and unclip that. Each side, there's a couple of springs around, and just basically disassemble it. You've got your adjuster in the middle there and another spring in behind. There's no set order you got to do this, just work your way through it, whatever suits you. For us, that sucker's next. So both clips off, the long spring's off. Spring at the bottom, once that comes off, just remember how it goes. That's the other reason for the video. It tucks in behind there, see which way it hooks in. It's got to all go back the same way. Hopefully somebody else put it back together the right way, and you've got the other big spring behind there as well. Might as well back it off all the way at this point to reduce the big spring pressure that's in the middle. Now there's different ways to do this, but we're going to do it my way, but not with my hands because I'm holding the camera. So it's going to get messed up because it's my way, not with my hands. And unfortunately in 2025 we can't just plug into each other and know exactly what we mean. But this is a good start, backing it off, because the adjuster in the middle there, it's putting pressure on the spring across the middle. There's a big spring there that hooks onto the shoe. Now that that's backed off, I reckon if you grab that shoe with your right hand and this shoe with your left hand, just bring it up and square it up, you'll be able to pull it apart enough to unhook that adjuster on the short side there, around there. That's it. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but yeah, the problem is, see, that side wants to come out as well. And unhook, take the adjuster out, and then you'll be able to unhook the spring. And the new shoes will put them in the same way. You bring them into position, put the spring on. You've got to get this side out first because it's the short end. So you've got to kind of push this while you pull this shoe this way or something like that. Anyway, you've got to fiddle around and do that, people. Maximum de-adjustment might help. Right, so he didn't like my way of trying to get that out. So the plan B is he's taken the handbrake cable off now, which I normally do last, but this could be a better way to do it, to try and lift it out as an assembly. So let's see. Doesn't matter if that stays there, but go on. Let's see if you can lift the assembly out now in one piece. If you can maneuver it out, lay it down, then that's easy. That's it, beautiful. You like your idea, lay it straight on the ground. Beautiful, look at that. Okay, everybody, that's how you do it, okay? That's how you want to do it? We'll do it your way, not mine then, yeah? So the idea was, yeah, normally I do that last. I think that's a habit, but that wasn't hard to access and get undone. And I think this is a good idea because the hardest part on this is, see that big spring there? It's behind everything. Okay, so I'll risk getting dirty for a second. See, it hooks in behind there. So you've got to have that on before. You've got to have all that. They both hook from behind. You can't put that on after. So the other way is if you're strong enough, you can pull the top of the shoes apart, get the adjuster out. Then once you get that out, it allows the shoes to come in and whatever, and then you can do, so, you know, either. Either way, brake shoes, pretty straightforward, not that hard. It's two shoes. There's two retaining clips holding, one on each one. A couple of springs in places, but it's just a bit of a fiddle to get them off and on. And each vehicle's different. Some brake shoes we used to do, I remember, we'd be done in like 2 minutes. Amazing. But these ones, once they're a bit bigger, they seem to be a bit more fiddly. A little bit about the wheel cylinders, right? They will just slowly work their way out, and I can just push it back in. And if you push it from the brake, they'll come out. That's how it all works, right? So that's basically push fluid backwards, but see how it's slowly working its way out? Can you see it already? And that's what'll happen. They'll just get to where they go. We think somebody's changed the wheel cylinders before, as it turns out, because it's just sprayed it. But see how there's a bit of wear and tear on the nut, on the brake line, sorry. So yeah, this is obviously to bleed it afterwards. That 100% will need to be done. We need to bleed all the air out of the system. Hey everybody, if you hung around this long, you've done well. I've just heard back from LSI Auto, literally right now, this minute, and it's a 15% off using the same discount code, 4B4 Diesel. So you can just continue to use the same code as you always did, but it's 15% until the 21st of December. So get on it before you forget. And I've been told I'm going to get my hands more dirty and a bit more work on these splits to get that undone, to make sure there's no dramas. So what I'll do to make sure there's no dramas, I will consider clamping the brake line above the diff to stop the brake fluid coming down too much. Not that it really matters, because I'll be pretty quick. I'll get the 10mm ring spanner onto this, and I'll get the 10mm pipe spanner onto that, and it's a snap-on one. Bada bing, bada boomski, she'll be out. Oh no, we got a bit carried away and we got too much done. We got a bit excited about the lsiauto.com.au discount code. There's the little brake line clamp. You get them at Super Cheap Auto. Come on, focus. That's the one. And I had that on the brake line directly above the diff near the breather to stop the fluid coming out. And I came in with a 10mm snap-on, took the bleeder out. Then I cracked this loose with a 10mm snap-on pipe spanner. Then my assistant took out the two 10mm mounting the wheel cylinder. Then we brought in the new wheel cylinder, put those bolts in. I lined up the brake line first, put that in the hole, got it started, put the two mounting bolts in. And then what I did towards the end, we took the brake line clamp off. After I squeezed this in, we took the brake line clamp off. I held it like that while I was tightening up. We were tightening up the mounting bolts and the brake line, and it started leaking out, drip, 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 down into our tray down there with the old wheel cylinder. Drip, 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 drip. Because I believe in, let's just get most of the air bled out as soon as we can. Drip, drip, drip. And then I was actually slowly releasing this out, letting it fill and just pumping it and pushing the air out of the, we put the, what do you call it? The bleeder nipple, the nipple. I got mixed up with I forgot what a nipple was. Anyway, because we had put that back in, but it was loose. It's tight now because once I got all the air out while it was squeezed, I just nipped it up. We're going to bleed the brakes more anyway, but I just went, let's get all the bloody air out because we can. And then assistant, while I was fluffing around cleaning up all the brake fluid mess, which I've still got some, had gloves on of course, but anyway, he put the springs and adjuster on the shoes and brought it and put it into position, and just put your fingers each side there and there, pulling it apart, slide straight over the wheel cylinder. If you've got an assistant to squeeze that in and hold it in like that, it just makes it actually fits quite loosely, to be honest. And then you can get your clips on, one here, one there, get your handbrake cable back on. It's probably a good idea now. Don't forget that till last. And a couple more springs and Bob's your uncle. Where did that one go? Did it go like that? You sure it went like that? Yes. It's been a while since we pulled it apart. It's been half an hour, mate. You know, we might forget where it went.
Here, this one goes there, that one goes, see? So it doesn't look long there. Oh, good.
Yeah, I think that flat thing, I think it goes under there exactly like that. That's how it goes. The other side's probably wrong. As long as it comes around somewhere and hits and it doesn't, the whole thing doesn't spin when, yeah, to be honest, yeah, that's what it must be there for. I don't even know. I haven't, so someone put the other side together wrong anyway, but that looks to me like it would be a support for that piece. So I'm not that good at drum brakes either, people, so don't watch my videos and do your own brakes. That's the easy one, when you grab it in the right spot. Hey everybody, I just want to say, I always use side cutters. I don't cut the springs, but they grip really well. And old Mick from Super Stop in Box Hill, he taught me that when I was a first year. Beautiful, look at that, that's back together. Mate, what's all these fingerprints on my shoes, mate? Can you show me your hands?
Brake cleaning,
hey, mate, look.
So welcome, mate.
Yeah, so it's got to go, that weird flat tube bit at the back there, it's got to go to the back. I'm just trying to work out in my uncommon sense why it matters. You can't have it at the front under that thing, right? As we did just then. We're going to move that, but I'm just trying to work out where, without looking at a book, where is it meant to go and why. Have a look at this side while you're at it, where all the springs are. This is next. Like I said, I'm not going to do the wheel cylinder as much as I'm tempted. I know they've been done before. Like I said, they just do it. It's just a workshop thing. It's like Repco, Burson's workshop, customers type workshop. They just, you know, pads and wheel cylinders, drum. I think the drums are original, to be honest, but I don't know what the shoes are, but they're not wearing out. I don't know if it's because the brakes aren't doing much. Certainly got a good spare set of shoes I'm going to keep here that I know never wear out, because that's 3 years. And that's with a bit of traction control out on the tracks, you know. So imagine I'm going to be a bit harder on these ones, and let's see what happens. Okay, so this side's back on, and I want to tell you about something with these just for safety. So you got the cast iron here, and you got the machined. Right on the edge of the cast iron to the machine was some quite sharp edges. So I used the rough emery and ran around the hole, both of them twice, because it did feel dangerously sharp, so beware of that. I've let LSI know in case I want to follow up with the manufacturing and see if there's anything they can do about it. I get it. It is cast and then machined, and you've got that edge, but you'd hope there's something they can do about it, even if someone's got to do it by hand like what I just did. So adjusting the brakes, obviously adjust them out. What I like to do is get the drum on, and then I give it a good wiggle around while it's loose, left and right, up and down, to centralise the shoes. More clicks, back on again, wiggle it around, more clicks. That's how I do most of the adjustment. The fine tuning can be done, you know, through the hole. Somewhere there's a bloody hole there, anyway, upside down, back to front, through the hole there. Or you can just keep doing it this way. The other thing to consider when you're adjusting the brakes, whether you've got an LSD or not, and sometimes it's easier to just remove the drum and have one side on at a time. So like using those 2 bolts again, because it's tight sometimes around the center here, how it's meant to be. And it may pay to adjust one side at a time, and it might get a bit stuck on there and a bit painful, but just be patient, slowly, a few clicks here and there. Basically, as tight as you like, you just don't want it dragging. You want it all the way up, but it's not dragging. So if you're turning it, have a listen, make sure it's not scraping. You don't want it scraping, getting hot. You know, a lightest bit of scrape is okay, because it might be a little bit uneven. But yeah, that one you just got to be careful with. Bit of uncommon sense again, if you don't know brakes, and this isn't enough information for you to be able to sort of figure out. You know, if it's loose, you're going to have a sort of spongy, possibly more travel in your brake pedal sort of thing, which this vehicle didn't have before. It was really good. And anyway, back together. We're just doing the other side, and bada bing, bada boom. How do you know if you turn it the right way to adjust it?
Groove. The direction of the groove.
Yeah, so the smooth way, see everybody, there's on that ratchety type thing, like any ratchet, there's an easy way and a hard way. When that would be sliding over the adjuster plate, the easy way, that's tightening, and the hard way is loosening. I don't know if that makes sense here, but I can't explain it any better than that. So you got to back it right off. Got the bottom spring off already. See, while I was yakking over there, he's already into it. All the other springs, bits, pieces off, they're already down there. Back this off, and then if you got some muscles, you just got to get your 2 fingers, your index and your next big one. One there, one on each side, and just spread it apart. After you take the hand, you got the handbrake. You got to take the handbrake cable off to do it this way. Yeah. And then spread. Well, you could not do it that way, but when you spread it and pulled it out, it'd still be connected, so you wouldn't be able to go and put it on the bench. It'd be hanging there. You'd have to disassemble the rest of it in the air. And we point out that big spring, it hooks in from behind at both sides, so you can't get to it. Well, you probably could, but that'd be a pain in the butt to hook on. I could do it, but that would be a pain in the butt to hook on backwards, wouldn't it, right? Which is why you got to either, like I said, pull this apart and pop that out short end first, or take the handbrake cable off the bottom and lift the whole assembly off with this gently coming between that gap there, and yeah, which is by just pulling it apart. But if you've got someone to help that, or you could probably just put some small tie wire around it to hold those little pistons in the wheel cylinder if you were on your own and you wanted to do something like that. You could tape it up or anything. It's not a lot of pressure. It's just something to hold it in, because they'll naturally want to pull their way out. Don't hit me in the nuts down there. You need to pull the whole cable this way a bit. What if I let this go now? That's that way.
Stuck right here.
I'm trying to camera. Trying to camera and watch and help. And anyway, get it out, people. Just get it. You just got to push the spring back and lift it out. It's easy. Oh, it was nearly out. It's gone back in. Easy. Oh, and I just missed it on the camera, didn't I? So key thing, people. get a good slide on it, slide the spring up, and then clamp it with your side cutters. Don't cut the cable. Make sure you've got some cheap, crappy side cutters is ideal. And then you just got to lift it out. It's a bit of a maneuver. I'm going to let this go now because I'm holding it again. So you can catch it and show everyone. You should be better at it this time. This is second time in one day. Second time in 1 year, probably. Second time in a lifetime. I don't know. We don't do a lot of drum brakes. We're not the pro. You got to pull the top parts, right? So get your fingers in at the top there. That's it. Spread it hard. So you kind of haven't got your hands in the ideal spot. Get those fingers up the top of these shoes would be the go, but yeah. That's it. Spread it there. That's it. Pull it there and pull it apart. That's it, and then carefully lift it out while you got it spread.
Oh, this one's harder than the other.
No, it's just because I got muscles, mate. I make it look easy. This is in the video, by the way. This is all in the video.
How come the other one was easy?
It was just easy because I put it on, mate. Blink and you miss it.
No, pulling it apart. That one we just lifted it up.
Adjusters all the way down. Yeah, no, it should come out. It's just the angle of the dangle, maybe. I don't know. You put the other one in position. I just hooked it on. Look, in working on it, I noticed there was a bit of fluid there, and I'm sort of going, well, where's that coming from? We haven't pumped the brakes. We haven't opened anything yet. And those pistons haven't come out. Maybe they come out further than what they're meant to, and that's what can happen. And maybe that's what's happened. We've allowed them to come out. I'm just trying to think back when I worked on cars. Yeah, I don't really remember having that issue. But when I come back to trade school, they did say, when you're doing drum brakes, you know, you got to make sure you got to somehow secure them in. I'm pretty sure that's what they said, but we never really had that issue because they sort of just sat there with the mucking around. Maybe this one, whatever. Anyway, so I've decided, of course, we've got two there. We're going to change it, put a fresh one in, which I think this has all happened for a reason. It's meant to be, because why wouldn't you put a new one? It's how many years old, who knows? So clamp up that brake line and off she comes. Time for me to get the gloves on again.